Welcome to Books with Jody, where we talk about new releases, classics, and everything in between. Today, I'm going to discuss my top books of 2023. Let's begin. Let's start our list of top books of 2023 with the new releases. Two of them are Book of the Month selections. First up, we have Shark Heart. This book is about a married couple where slowly her husband is turning into a great white shark, and he thinks he can hide it from her until the telltale signs like a dorsal fin show up. In this book, people can slowly turn into different creatures, much like in our world where you can get various types of cancer. Highly recommend. The second book to make the list is the new release, Divine Rivals. This tells a love story between two people who can write each other through these magical typewriters, but do they even know who they were typing to? Watch as this love story unfolds. New releases is from an author who I absolutely adore. It is Kristin Harmel's The Paris Daughter. All of her books, a lot of her new releases are based in World War II, and they are highly researched. This story, The Paris Daughter, is no exception. It will pull on your heartstrings. Her books always make me intensely emotional. Check this one out. Thank you. Next up, we move to our classics. First book I like to show you that made my list is Stoner. No, this is not a 420 reference. Stoner is a character-driven novel, so there's not much storyline. You're just following this character throughout his life. The ups, the downs, the happiness, the sorrows. You become so connected to this character. I highly, highly recommend. Next up in our classics is a very, very old story. Actually, it's a play, Lysistrata. This is about the women where their husbands are off to war, and they want change to happen. So they stop having sex with the rest of the men in the community. And it is hilarious. Despite how old it is hilarious, and I highly recommend. You can even find the audio on Audible. Our next classic was on my shelf for probably 2 years till I found the courage to read it. I've watched the movie multiple times, and while the movie is almost 4 hours, the book is just over 900 pages. Gone with the Wind. This book is a classic for a reason. It took off and they made a movie all within a couple of years. There's a lot of differences between the book and the movie. In the book, there's more marriages, more babies, more tough times. Overall, this book is about survival. Scarlett, who is a very prideful woman, puts away her pride to help her family and her plantation survive. Despite it being nearly 100 years old, it's very easy to read. I probably read it within a week. I just could not stop turning the pages. I needed to know what happened next. Highly, highly recommend. And the last classic to make my book of favorite books for 2023 is Around the World in 80 Days. This is the second book I read by Jules Vernes, and it's just captivating. It's a thin read. It's only about 300 pages, and you will be hooked as you watch these two trying to race around the world in only 80 days to save their pride and to win a bit of money. Highly recommend. Now let's move on to the in-betweens. I jumped on the bandwagon when everyone else was when everyone else was reading this around Halloween, and that is Slewfoot by Brom. If you love witches and you love witchy times with a little element of horror from some mysterious creatures, I highly recommend Slewfoot. Loved it. It's the perfect autumn read. Another of the in-between, Rules of Civility. As you can see, I've heavily tabbed the book. The Rules of Civility starts off with a trio who become a couple. Two of them branch off to become a couple, and one's kind of left to do her own thing. Throughout the book, you see how both sets of people feel like the other person has it going on and they're a little bit jealous. This book is on my list because of the ending. The ending, you think you understand what's going on, and you get these two completely different perspectives on the ending through two of the characters, and it really makes you think. Not too long, as you can see, but wonderful read. And last but not least, to our 2023 top books, it's Foe. This is about a man who's going on a mysterious mission to outer space. He doesn't really understand why he's been selected. And they send a replacement to start learning about him so they can replace the soon-to-be astronaut at home so that there's no interruption of his life. Follow along as you watch the soon-to-be astronaut get a little wary about his replacement. And that is the top books of 2023. Some classics, some new releases, some in between. Thank you for watching. Now, please write down in the comments what your favorite books of 2023. Bye. Till